Hi, my name is Ty Trumbull and I handle the content at Acquira. Today we wanted to talk to you about this concept we have at Acquira called the third path. Traditionally, if you wanted to create wealth, you were told to keep your head down, rise through the ranks of your job, and by the time you reached retirement, you would have enough money to enjoy your golden years. More recently, tech founders like Mark Zuckerberg changed the narrative, showing the world that there was a second path toward building wealth. Now, there is a third path. Business acquisition allows entrepreneurs to increase their wealth and maintain a high quality of life while experiencing new challenges and constant personal growth. This isn't just hearsay or conjecture either. In this video and the accompanying article, we're going to break it down for you, comparing all three paths through the lens of different milestones. We will look at a typical career employee, an average startup founder, and an acquisition entrepreneur. Just to keep things fair, we will assume that each person has $200,000 in savings when they start out on their path. We've not included the value of assets like homes or equity, given that those can vary so much from region to region, business to business, and person to person. Quality of life will be demonstrated by a colored dot, green for high, yellow for medium, and red for low. Let's dig in. In year one of our journey, if you're the career employee, you've already worked your way up the ladder and are sitting in a VP position earning $200,000 per year, which has worked out to $157,000 after taxes. At the end of that year, you've managed to save $57K from your paycheck and added it to the $200K you started with. That leaves you with a net worth of $257,000, excluding things like property. However, it's important to note that for a position that pays that well, you're likely working long hours, keeping you away from your family. This leaves you with a middling quality of life. For the founder, let's assume you quit your job, living off of your $200K savings in order to bootstrap a startup. So your salary is $0, and you start out as a one-man company. You manage to earn $100K in the first year and use $50K to pay yourself, and invest the other $50K into building your company. As far as lifestyle is concerned, you'll be working long hours at an incredibly demanding job. The initial newness of the experience, however, will likely make this fun for the first 6 months, but that also likely will not last, leading to a relatively low quality of life, especially in the early stages of the business. For the AE, at the end of year one, you found a home services business that was making $500K in EBITDA. A company of that size is typically valued at 3x or $1.5 million. With the added fees, you're looking at a purchase price of $1.65 million. Typically, you can receive an SBA loan that allows you to put down 10% of your own money, or $165,000. SBA loans are generally at variable rates, so the interest rate is likely to fluctuate. For this example, we're treating it as fixed. Your total loan is therefore $1,485,000 and $1,525,000 with SBA fees. For a breakdown of those fees, please check out the accompanying article. As a result of the purchase, your net worth and earnings have remained more or less the same, but your quality of life is lower in the first year as you work to improve and systematize the company you just purchased. In year two, after 2 years, your life will be basically the same. It's too soon to ask for a raise, and you haven't been able to change where you live, though you have been able to put away 20% of your salary again, leaving you with $314,000 in savings. For the founder, in your second year, you've managed to double your business and take in $200,000 in revenue. You put half into the business and pay yourself $100,000, meaning you're no longer eating into your savings. The failure rate for startups in their second year is 30%, and that very knowledge can cause many founders to feel anxious and stressed, leading to a lower quality of life. For the AE, by this point, your income has probably doubled thanks to the free cash flow from the business. As the investments into systems that you began implementing in year one start to show results, the company should become more efficient, causing revenue to rise. This, combined with executing on the low-hanging fruit opportunities available in any acquisition, mean that it's not uncommon to see 40% growth in the second year. This leads to an EBITDA of $700,000. At the same time, the company is now valued at $2.1 million. You've made 2 years worth of principal repayments to the loan, so your remaining debt is $1,222,000. That leaves your overall net worth at a little over $1.3 million. It is important to note, for this to be any more than just numbers on paper, you'd need to refinance to access the cash or sell some of your business. Meanwhile, though, your quality of life is improving as you begin stepping away from everyday operations, and the leadership team you put in place is handling most of the daily responsibilities. In year three, the career employee, your life remains more or less unchanged. You continue to live frugally and set aside savings. That leaves you with $371,000 in liquid savings. For the founder, if your company has survived this long, the business will likely have actual equity value. Let's assume you were able to double revenue again and the business is earning $400,000 in revenue. You've got a couple of employees and the business is netting $200,000 in EBITDA, which you pay to yourself as salary. For the sake of a standardized comparison with a career employee and the AE, we count this as $100,000. Year 3 is where things really get interesting for the acquisition entrepreneur. You've optimized the business and you've grown the company another 10%, resulting in an EBITDA of $770,000 per year before debt and a little over $576,000 after debt coverage. That means that each year you're making nearly 3 times the amount that you started out with in savings. Meanwhile, your quality of life has never been higher. You're visiting the business once a quarter and working 1 day a week. You can travel, which means you don't have to spend your winters in cold climates unless you really want to. In year 5, the career employee, by this point, you've probably received a raise and you're making 20% more on your salary. You continue to live frugally and set aside savings for retirement. Your liquid assets are sitting around $500,000 while your quality of life remains relatively unchanged. For the founder, by year 5, half of all startups have failed. If you're one of the lucky ones that has managed to stay in business, you're likely making the same salary you were 2 years previous. By this point, you may be preparing to exit the company, or you're just waiting for it to go public so you can cash in your equity. By now, though, your quality of life has likely improved somewhat as you hire more employees and delegate more of your workload. Your revenue is at $800,000, double what it was in year 3, though EBITDA is at $250,000, just a little higher than it was a couple of years ago as the business is now becoming more management run. It's important to note, though, that you're still likely a few years away from an exit. As Crunchbase points out, most SaaS-related startups take 9 years to exit, while business-to-customer companies take around 7 years. When it comes to the AE, the survival rate of those who buy an existing business is much higher than their startup compatriots after 5 years, somewhere between 90 and 95%. That means that by this point in your business buying journey, your overall risk is very low. Assuming you've been able to continue growing your business by a modest 30% over the last 2 years, the business is now earning $1 million in EBITDA. By this point, if you choose to sell the company, it's probably worth about 5x. So your $1.5 million company is worth approximately $5 million. You've made 5 years worth of payments towards your loan, which means your overall net worth is now a very healthy $5.75 million. Your quality of life has never been better, and the company is now growing under its own steam. This is often a fork in the road moment for many acquisition entrepreneurs as they debate whether they want to exit their business or pursue more rapid growth through roll-up acquisitions. There's nothing wrong with any of the paths we've listed here. Which one you take will often come down to your own risk tolerance. When it comes to acquisition entrepreneurship, if you put in the work and time at the beginning, the dividends, both literal and figurative, that it pays down the road are immense. Acquira was designed to help accelerate the path of acquisition entrepreneurship. The first step of that journey is through our Accelerator program. The program is designed to find and close a business for you within 7 months. To learn more about that, click the link at the end of this video, or you can schedule a call with one of our representatives at the link below. Thank you for your time.